بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. I remind you to have a sincere intention in your heart when attending the lesson, seeking reward from Allah Ta'ala. I ask Allah Ta'ala to grant us the sincere intention to increase our knowledge and to admit us to paradise without torture. Inshallah ta'ala, soon we will review all the hadith that we have taken in these previous lessons together. Inshallah, we'll do that before Ramadan. Ramadan is very soon. So get ready, prepare with a plan that you want to do to increase your acts of obedience, inshallah. Type, what is our hadith for today? The Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam said, لا حسد إلا في اثنتين رجل آتاه الله مالا فسلط على هلكته في الحق ورجل آتاه الله الحكمة فهو يقضي بها ويعلمها. Inshallah, when I upload the lesson, I will write the hadith as well. Now, we have learned when we talked about the sins of the heart, we mentioned the term al-hasad. In this hadith, we are not referring to the sinful hasad. We are not referring to the sin of being envious. What is meant in this hadith, which the Prophet ﷺ mentioned here when he said, لا حسد إلا في اثنتين, what is meant here, the scholars said, is الغبطة. الغبطة. What does this mean? الغبطة means to wish for yourself what this other person has of an endowment without wanting that endowment to be taken away from that other person. You wish it for yourself as well without wanting it to be removed from that other person. Okay? This is referred to as al-ghibtah. So what is meant then in this hadith of the Prophet ﷺ when he said لا حسد إلا في اثنتين, here the scholar said is what is meant is al-ghibtah and not the sinful hasad. So the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in this hadith, which was also stated in Sahih al-Bukhari, are two people. He mentioned a man whom Allah granted wealth, and this man spends it in what is right. He spent that money in obedience to Allah. And he mentioned a man whom Allah granted knowledge in the religion. And this man applies it, he rules in accordance to it, and he teaches it to others. So then the meaning here is that these two matters are ones that one ought to wish that Allah would also grant one with these two matters. One ought to wish that Allah would grant one the same, these two matters as well. So if we see a person who has money, which is lawful, and he spends it in what is lawful, he spends it in good matters. So here we wish that we had that too in order to spend it in good matters as well, without wishing for this endowment to be removed from that person. So it means if a person saw another having these two matters, which the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in this hadith, it is urged that we would wish for us the same as well. We would wish that we would also have this endowment without wanting it to be removed from this person. And you know, of course, it is good when one has money that is lawful, halal, wealth that is lawful, and one spends it in obedience to Allah. He spends it in good matters. And when one is granted knowledge in the religious matters with a proper comprehension, and one practices this knowledge, one rules in accordance to this knowledge, and one teaches this knowledge, one spreads this knowledge with a sincere intention, what a great matter that is. So this then was the meaning of the hadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam.